I've never really been into electronic music. I'm talking specifically about the kind that's created by DJs using loops and is most frequently heard in dance clubs or games like Dance Dance Revolution. There's nothing wrong with anybody who does like it, it's just never really been my thing. However, I stand by the philosophy that any good film will make you care about its subject matter, even if it's something that you wouldn't normally think about otherwise. This film did not accomplish that. This is one of those times where I kept asking myself, what the hell am I watching? This film is all over the place to the point where I'm not even sure what kind of story it's trying to tell. There are several scenes and ideas that feel lifted from other films, except here it feels like the people doing the lifting don't understand what makes those scenes and ideas actually work. What most certainly doesn't help is the fact that the film can't make up its mind as to what style it's trying to take. I mean, first we're given some sort of pseudo-documentary style, as if we're following them on some journey. Then we're given some sort of quirky intro like you would see in some fancy indie film that was picked up from a festival, only to then be given a surreal trip-out scene with rotoscoped animation that's trying to imitate films like Waking Life. There's just no consistency to this film's presentation whatsoever. As such, the film never really has an identity of its own. It just feels like pieces of other movies that were just smashed together. When it comes to the writing, it's very hit or miss, with more misses than hits. All of the characters are bland and lack any sort of development, yet the film expects us to care about them when bad things happen, even though more often than not, it's their own damn fault for being so freaking stupid. Another thing that bothers me is that towards the end of this film, it tries having callbacks to things that either weren't really established that well, if they were established at all during the film. As such, it feels like the writer wrote themselves into a corner that they weren't sure how to get out of, and just threw together a resolution really quickly just so they could turn it into the studio and get paid. As for any of the technical aspects, there's nothing to really appreciate because it all goes back to the fact that there is no consistent style. The things that did stand out don't stand out because they're good, they stand out because they feel out of place. As for the acting, well, it's okay, but again, not much to appreciate because the characters are so bland and underdeveloped. I mean, yeah, they probably were really skilled actors turning in good performances. Doesn't change the fact that the characters are badly written. Overall, this film is a mess, with bland, underdeveloped characters, pointless dramatic beats, and an inconsistent style and tone. It makes for a very boring and unpleasant experience that doesn't deliver anything of any real value. It's just frustrating and boring to watch. It doesn't know what story it wants to tell, nor does it really care to figure that out, leaving us with a film that feels like it changed directors so many times during the course of production that some poor editor had to stitch it together in order to have something to release. This film is not worth your ticket price, it is not worth renting, it is not worth streaming, it is not worth your time. It is just that boring, it is just that frustrating, and it is just that dumb. All of that said, We Are Your Friends gets a 2 out of 5. So that's it for this episode of Romney's Reviews. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time.